Texas is such a wide open place that it is absolutely beautiful, fascinating, and daunting and terrifying all in the same way. And going through Texas, riding around and driving around Texas as much as I have, it's hard to say what one of my favorites is, but I'll give them to you as best as I can. Well, my home is in South Texas. I'm born and raised multi generational South Texan. Uh, at least 5 generations South Texan, mostly down around Duval County for your deep South Texas, right? Um, I find South Texas quite beautiful, but for me, it's quite boring because I'm of here. I'm from here, right? This is once I went out into the world and saw the world. I came back and I thought, man, this is quite boring. But South Texas, the mesquites and the cotton fields and the sandy oaks and you know, the purple sage in bloom in the spring, the blue bonnets, the Indian paintbrushes, different stuff, the rattlesnakes, all this stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. And so South Texas, in a sense, becomes one of my favorite drives throughout this state because uh, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see. In some ways, it's saddening because you can see the industrialization of it and you can see the abuse of the land in a lot of ways. But South Texas is beautiful. And I'm talking about deep South Texas. I'm not just talking about places close to the interstate, but uh, and close to highways. And now I think South Texas has been ruined a lot, partly by this imaginary invasion and this imaginary war because we as Americans like war on any fucking thing. Uh, but this imaginary war at the border and this invasion and all this bullshit, uh, I think that's killed Texas a lot, South Texas and the Rio Grande and La Frontera, a lot. It's hurt it a lot. And I don't think it's the migrants that hurt it at all. I think it was our domestic response to that, creating a problem where there really wasn't one. And we can have that debate later. But but yeah, South Texas, even for all of its changes, is a very beautiful drive. I don't go much to East Texas. I have spent some time in East Texas. To me, it's like going to Mississippi or Alabama or something. I don't know I spent some time in Kilgore, Lufkin, Nacogdoches. Uh, I think I got some family from around Diboll, somewhere out in there. Spent a little bit of time out in Lumberton area, Beaumont, a little bit, Milam, driven out through the piney woods. It's okay. As you can tell, I don't have much video for it because I just don't go east that much. I'm not an east kind of guy. Um, Generally, I just as soon go west until you just can't go west anymore. Until until you're forced to pass through the east. You know. But yeah, yeah. So probably one of my least favorite areas to visit is East Texas, but it doesn't mean it's terrible. I mean, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's unique for sure. It's just not one of my favorite places to go. Central Texas can be pretty. Uh, Central Texas can be interesting. Um, Populated as hell, overgrown, congested, much like Houston because you're along these corridors. I don't like to be around people. I don't mind people. It's just if I'm trying to get away, I don't want to be around people. I feel like Waco has become a little bit more too retailized, which is fine. It needed a shot in the arm, right? Waco was uh, too dependent on Baylor for a long time as their source of economy. Um, but yeah, I mean, Central Texas is nice. I love Waco. Waco is actually one of my most favorite places in Texas. I love Waco. My great grandfather on my dad's side was born in Waco. Back in like shit, I don't know what was it, like 18 something, 18. Excuse me, somewhere in there. So my roots actually go back to Waco in some sort of way. But uh, yeah, it's interesting. It's climactic. It's strange. It's a bunch of weird cats, but I like it. Central Texas is unique. Dallas Fort Worth to me is neat, but it's boring. So we're talking about drives. You know, the drive from down here in San Antonio to Dallas Fort Worth is an interesting drive. It's often congested. I guess you could take the toll road, but who the hell wants to do that? It's quicker, it's faster, it's more developed. See, now y'all got me yawning just thinking about that damn drive. It's not much of a drive, and I don't think if you go up 281 or some of the back roads there, I mean, what are you going to see? It's just not my favorite. But but going up to Dallas, Fort Worth is beautiful in its own way, and that drive, I think, when you get off the split, there north of Hillsborough, um, it ends up becoming an interesting drive as you go up 35E or 35W up into the big cities. Yeah, so up into which depends on which side of the metroplex you're going to, right? But that makes for an interesting drive. 287. I used to really like driving 287 out of Fort Worth and headed on up to Amarillo and Dumas and out of Texas. I used to really love that. Stop out. There's a little restaurant and a roadside park there right outside of Childers. I'd stop at Childers. Chillicothe. Chillicothe was nice. Vernon. I like all that out there too. Beautiful area out there. And again, for my own personality, going west is a fascinating thing. I'm more of a western kind of guy. I enjoy the west. You head out around Lubbock, you go out there around San Angela, you go out around, you get out that way, Eden. You go, what is that, up 87? Is that 87? Goes out that way. Go out that way. That's really nice. Um, Kind of interesting once you get out in far west Texas, way out there by Arla. You get out there, the oil country. I'm talking about damn near New Mexico, right out there, Hobbs area. It's interesting in its own way. It's weird to see what they've done with it, but it's interesting in its own way. Because here's what you see in Texas, you got this east, right? That's kind of like the deep south, and you go out west, which is much more like Arizona or California, and then you go to the north to the Panhandle, northwest. It's a lot more like New Mexico and Colorado, and you go up to Dallas, and Dallas is just the money, and Houston's just the oil. San Antonio is probably more the art and the culture where it comes from. Austin is probably more like Markham, Ontario. It's kind of the tech capital nowadays. Um, but as far as the drives go, the perfect drive for me is get off I-10 there in Junction and head on up to like, I don't know, like Eden up that way to San Angelo. Get on some of them back roads out there. Go through farm country. Head on up to say Lubbock and cut across over in Lubbock. Maybe go over to Muleshoe and maybe you go through La Mesa somewhere out there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then ultimately, that New Mexico state sign, it's a beautiful thing because it means you're out of Texas. And as much as I love Texas, there's a beauty of being out of it for a while. I hate to say it. Well, they say you get tired of shitting in the same place. Is that what they say? Did somebody once say that you get tired of shitting in the same place? Interesting, for sure. So anyway, I'm Matt. Feel free to buy my books. I'd love for you to buy my books. I'd love for you to read my books, but I'd really love for you to buy them instead of just getting them for free off the internet. But I'd also like for you to subscribe to the channel if you would. We just have practical conversations. I'm a writer. I'm a folk artist. I'm a photographer. Uh, I'm a self promoter of a different kind. So, hey, thanks for having this cup of coffee with me and let me rant and rave about what I think coolest drives in Texas are. So mine, Junction 87, follow it till you're out of Texas. Beautiful. See ya.